everybody. Today I want to show you a cool little automation that I created using several applications. The primary one is, of course, the grandmaster of all automation applications, which is Keyboard Maestro. Then I use Annotate, TextExpander via Keyboard Maestro, and I also use Hazel, which we'll go over here in this video, but Hazel sort of works in the background. So I forgot the keyboard shortcut for the automation, so I have to look it up. So I'll launch the Keyboard Maestro editor. Here it is. What the automation does is, on a daily basis, it takes the screenshot of my Robinhood account and it saves the file, renames it according to my text expansion, so it just puts Robinhood and then the dates, and then Hazel moves it over to a specific folder that I have created just for those particular screenshots. Okay, so the trigger for this automation is caps lock and 7. As you guys can see, that was the full automation. I had to mess around with it to make it work with my slow computer. I can't really say it's a slow connection because I upgraded my connection recently. I get 400 down and 20 up, according to my internet service provider. So let's take a look at how to build this automation. Here's the editor. So let's ignore the actions that are faded out. These have been manually disabled for the purposes of this video, because otherwise the page would not load. So the first action that I have loading here is I'm gonna assume that Chrome is running and that it just I will have the, I believe it is the URL action. Yeah, open URL. And the open URL with the default application. So you just set this one to Google Chrome and you type in your URL. But as you see, that one is at the top. I'm going to delete it so I don't mess up the automation. Now, this one is pause until. So here you have the Robinhood URL. Then you have a pause until action. I don't know that this action works as intended, but I have it in here anyway. What actually does work is the pauses that I have for large amounts of time. Here I have 35 seconds, and I have an average of 10 seconds for all the other pauses. So then I have, after Annotate launches, I wait 35 seconds so that I can ensure that the URL, Robinhood URL, launches. And then it does a command Shift 6, which is the keyboard shortcut for taking a screenshot with Annotate. So this action is just the keystroke action, and you'll see it right here. Type a keystroke, and then you type the keystroke you want, and then it works. And then after that, it pauses for another 12 seconds, and then so here in the keystroke, it just changes the mouse to the crosshair in preparation to take a screenshot. And then I pause for 12 seconds. And then this is the move and click mouse at a specific location. And I have no coordinates here, but I have it moved from set to relative to the front Windows center. So it actually moves, because it doesn't matter since you're taking a whole screenshot. I think the mouse moves to the front window, which would be Chrome's top corner, or actually the center, the Windows center. And it's set to without dragging, so it doesn't, you don't see the mouse dragging, it just disappears and reappears. And then it has a left button click, because my main click is set for the index finger, but you can have that changed as you wish, and it just takes one click without seeing, anything happen. It just takes the click and you'll be able to hear it. Then it pauses for another 6 seconds and activates Annotate again. So it brings Annotate forward and pauses 6 seconds and does another keystroke action. Command S. Once the Command S is clicked, Annotate is in the front. Therefore, it brings the Save dialog box under the Share menu in Annotate. And then it pauses another 10 seconds to allow the stock, which is the $ stock, is the abbreviation for my TextExpander snippet that puts in the name Robinhood and the current date. And then pauses another 10 seconds. These pauses are long because my computer is so old and slow that if I don't have them for this long, the automation will not work. But you can set up your pauses based on how fast your computer operates. Alright, so from here, I do a press button, which is the save, so you'll see that you actually saw that in the dialog box when the automation ran. And then it saves, waits another 4 seconds before quitting Annotate, and pauses another 3 seconds before it runs this this Apple script to close the Robinhood tab. And then waits another 3 seconds. That's the end of the automation. When I'm running it, not for the purposes of this video, it would go to YouTube, but disabled that action for the sake of time. And let me show you now that the Keyboard Maestro section is done. Let me show you the TextExpander snippet. So I'm going to go to TextExpander, and I'll go right here to here we go. If it ever loads. So right here, I created this text expansion prior to building the automation so that it works well. So I gave it a name, and then the month, the day, and the year formats are variables that are selected from right here. And not from right there, sorry. From this one, the date menu. These are entered this way because they are variables within TextExpander. And then you saw the TextExpander snippet within Keyboard Maestro. So that's the second part of this automation. It's really cool. It's very rare that I use all three automation tools and one additional screenshot tool and one workflow, which is really cool. So then we go to Hazel. And then we see right here, if I click on this automation, I've named the Hazel rule Robinhood, so that if in the name of the file, which we just created via Annotate and TextExpander, to have Robinhood and the underscore. And I might point out it's important to make sure that the name is listed under contains. It didn't do well when this specification just said with starts with, or just has, or is not. It has to have contains, so that it doesn't matter that the full name is not just this. It's important to have the date, and then this, every time it sees a screenshot with that name, it moves it to a folder that I have in my documents folder called Robinhood Screenshots, and that's what this is right here. I'm not gonna open it because, well, actually I can open it from Alfred, another one of my favorite apps. Here we go, Robinhood Screenshots. And then it simply shows a list of screenshots. Now here's where it's really cool. If it's done the automation correctly, you should just see every day there's a screenshot, Monday through Friday. And as you saw from my keyboard Maestro editor, if it ever opens again, it has two triggers. The caps lock 7 is to be done manually, and to run it on a daily basis on its own, it has a time of day trigger. So it's set for 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. And that is my screenshot capture of Robinhood automation. And it's really, really cool when it works as it's supposed to. And you have to kind of test it out at first, because the time delays have to be just right for it to capture everything. Alright guys, well, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this automation. Tell me in the comments below what you would use it for. Doesn't have to be, your screenshot captures don't have to be for Robinhood like mine. Also, another important feature that I'd like to hear about is, what do you use for your screen capture program? I found it difficult to use the default Mac screen capture, because there is no way to have it open in, I guess, open in preview, and then have a keyboard shortcut to save and give it a name. That's why I moved away from the default screen capture application to Annotate. Otherwise, I would have just used the default one. Anyway, so let me know that, and please like and share, and I will see you guys in the next video.